all sorts of other stuff, and we play a game.
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
El hospital.
還元一級の先というのは、本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は
Okay, we've leveled up, and it is time to pick another language. Mordför är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back. Ben neredeyse her gün okula gidelim. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is squab, and that also means elephant.
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Ça, ça, ah c'est ça, que c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça. Sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco.
Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyper Polyglotting avec Elise. Moi c'est Elise, traductrice, éditrice et écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu des jeux, surtout Geoguessr en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique, de l'acquisition des langues.
10:159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but
Hello and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I'm Elise, translator, writer, and editor with 20 working languages, and this is the stream where we're going to play some Geoguessr. We're going to look at the best and not so best of language YouTube. So let's get stuck in. How's everybody doing, chat? While I sit here trying to find my windows. Let's get everything set up here, and okay. Gonna go for some world. Yesterday, I set a new personal record. My new best score is 24,915 out of 25,000. Let's see how well we do this time. Okay. Immediately, I feel like we may be in Germany. Haus Christina. Okay, that certainly does not disabuse me of the notion that we may be in Germany. These houses just look German. Okay, but how do we get out of this little area and onto an actual road? Okay, well, pretty area. I mean, I immediately think Bavaria, just because of the hills and the houses and everything. Wait, is this just somebody's driveway? Ah, fucking hell. Okay, let's see. How do we get out of here? I guess we go this way. Let's see if we can find a main road someplace. Asbergring. Okay, yeah, I mean, not seen that particular street sign pattern in Germany, but it's certainly a German name. It indicates it's a ring road, so we will be going around in a circle unless we find a way out. Asbergring. Schon wieder. Asbergstraße. Okay, we're in Asbergstraße. Now, let's see. Which is the more promising way if we want some signposting? Panoramastube. Geoguessr. Okay. Krickel. Okay, this is making me think. Austria. As are these little Austrian flag things. That's what those look like anyway. Okay, so Austria. Wasn't too far off. There's a lot of Austria that looks like Bavaria. Just more so. Eier und Honig. Eggs and honey. Okay, so someplace in, I think, rural Austria. Hofladen. Deischinger Hof. Jeden Samstag. Dann noch was ist? Na. Irgendeine Hauptstraße. Ja, Österrike. Ser det ut? Kanske i Tirol eller något slikt. Okay, und was ist denn das? Holz, Brennholz. Aber irgendeine Hauptstraße muss es doch geben. Wir müssen nur weiter suchen. Und irgendwann wird sich das hier irgendeiner Hauptstraße irgendeiner Bundesstraße, sowas in der Art, oder eine Landesstraße wäre auch tauglich. Anschließen. Aber bislang kann man sagen, das ist mit großer Wahrscheinlichkeit Österreich und mit mittlerer Wahrscheinlichkeit irgendwo in Tirol. Ja, welches ist das? Aspergring schon wieder. Scheiße. Bin im Kreis rumgelaufen. Scheiß Aspergring. Oh, okay, was denn das? Ist das ein Privatweg? Okay, aber wo komme ich hier weg? Na, bin ich schon wieder im Kreis rumgelaufen. Okay, hier vielleicht? Nee. Na, da geht's nicht weiter. Hätte ich mir denken können. Hätte man drauf kommen können, dass das so nicht weitergeht. Aber irgendeine Ausfahrt muss es doch geben. Aus diesem scheiß Asbergring. Ja, das ist schon wieder Asberg, denke ich. Noch mehr. Noch mehr Asbergring. Das alles Asbergring. Scheiß Asbergring. Wo man noch hinschaut, ist das Asbergring. Geh weiter. So, we are someplace in Austria, that much is clear. And we're on the ring road from hell. I'm trying to find a way out, and every way out, every time I think I've found a way out, it takes me right back to where I was. What does that say? Osberger Weg. Okay, let's go on Osberger Weg. See if Osberger Weg is our way out. Or if this is just some giant trap for foreigners. Panorama-Stübel. Okay. Probably a very nice pub. I mean, certainly a pretty view. Pretty view. Give it that. I mean, I suppose when you've made multiple attempts to get the hell out of Asbergring, you probably need a pint. Okay. Is this the end of the line? No, oh, it is, but it gives us something useful. We're getting onto a main street. But, okay, but I can't see... Okay. So, main street... Da wandert einer. does that say? Anfang. Okay. So far, so good. We finally found our way out of the endless ring road. Harmonikaschule. Michelbauer. Yeah, very Austrian name there. Okay, so someplace in Austria. I still think Tyrol seems like a reasonable assumption, but I haven't seen anything that says it isn't. Okay, let me see. Sometimes you will find the council name, like local authority or something. Oh wait, what does this say? Kanzlerhof, Abrufverkauf. Yeah, .at. Yeah, we are definitely 100% in Austria now. So that was an Austrian top-level domain. Okay, let's see. Very pretty area. I mean, Austria is full of very pretty areas. Like, Tyrol is just one big beauty spot, most of it. Mulig. Ja, det er mulig. Einbahnstraße. Wait. Okay. Gasthaus zur Gis. Was ist denn die Gis? Die gehört. Straßenmeisterei St. Martin. St. Martin. Okay, die Straßenmeisterei. Ziel. Imst. Wengle, Berwang, namenlos. Biberwier. Dumpen. Fieberbrunn kenne ich sehr gut. Ganz früher war ich öfter dort unterwegs. Hello, Atta. Okay, this is not helping me as much as I was hoping it would. If I had the number plate, I could probably narrow it down better, but that is always hidden on this. I mean, most of the time anyway. Oh, not bad, not bad. Trying to figure out where exactly. We're someplace in Austria called St. Martin. But where exactly in Austria St. Martin is still a bit of a mystery. I think it's probably someplace in Tyrol. It just has that feeling to it. But I haven't got any clear indication one way or another. All I know for sure is we're in Austria. Zellinger. Hier 79. Jagdspezialitäten. They make yak there apparently. Hello, Badger. That's somebody's driveway, so that's no good. Gießstraße. L1. Ist das die Landesstraße? Nee. Ja. Zweifle ich. Oh, Austria is gorgeous. I mean, you have all these mountains. Vienna is lovely as well. Yeah. Let's take this road and see if it takes us someplace more informative. Oh, this has taken us right back to the Panoramastube, but we can go the other way on this street. Oh wait, that thing looked... Linz. Okay, other end of the country. Grammastetten, Helmonsøt, Bregaten. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Austria is just full of beauty spots. So St. Martin is somewhere near Linz. Bernau, Bucking, Alkoven, St. Gotthard, Altenberg, Ottenschlag, Wachsenberg. Hühnerschrei? There's a town called Hühnerschrei. What that literally means the screaming of chickens. Schlägel. Waffenschlag. Schön eben. St. Wolfgang, Öpping, Stratberg. Sechsling. Neindling. St. Stefan am Weide. Afisel. Vor der Weißenbach. Langzettel. Lobensteuer. Hermonsett. Schindelberg. Wadelhof. Kalneikirchen. Graz. Wiener Treffling. Tragwein. Brawinkel. Aids. Perg. Augentoy. St. Peter in der Aumarkt. St. Peter in der Audorf. After St. Martin. The geese, whatever the hell the geese exactly is. Okay, I lost Linz. And Linz is the best clue we have here. This is someplace near Linz. Because the electricity is apparently provided by the Linz Electrical Company. St. Georgen an der Gusen. Kringelbach. Rottenegg. I mean, for all I know. Oh, St. Martin! St. Martin, ist das Ansföden? Dorfstraße St. Dionysen. Wegscheid. Darlingstraße. Untere Dorfstraße. Yeah, except I have to say that does not look like something. Oh well, just because it's getting serviced by the street maintenance crews of St. Martin does not mean it is strictly in St. Martin. You know, these small towns, they don't necessarily rate their own street maintenance crews. Ansfeldener Straße, Rietzelhofstraße, Staltner, Fleckendorf, Zellinger. Zellinger Kreuz. Im Grabwinkel. Zotteder Kreuz. Im Grabwinkel. Griebelstrasse. Peterberger Kreuz. Am Hochfeld. Waldweg. Ritzelhofstraße. Am Feldrhein. Gescheidstraße. Ansbergring und Gieß. Jetzing. Okay. Rödenweg. Oh. This is complicated. Okay. We have a general idea. Let's just see. Guess we could take forever trying to find this, I think. $49.68, so not too bad considering the quality of the clue there. Not a bad start, and very pretty as well. Okay, this is decidedly more urban. Looks derecho civil. Okay, someplace Spanish speaking. Okay, that number plate, if that's what that is, kind of looks like Chile? Possibly? Yeah. Distinct Latin American feel to CDMX. Okay, we're in Mexico City. Okay, so that much has been cleared up. Hey, Riveroon. Chavacano. Alcanfore. Colonia Patero de Delegación Azcapotzalco. Okay, Azcapotzalco. Tacuba, Mixcoac. I feel like the fact that there was some sort of flyer related to civil law suggests that it might be near a university. Pedregal de Santa Úrsula, Portales Norte, Santa Cruz, Doctores, La Condesa, Colonia Buenavista, Claveria, Aztacoalco, Azcapotzalco. I do not know the layout of Mexico City that well. We're very much in the periphery at this point. Not sure how big a delegación actually is in Mexico. Where's the Colonia, Partero? Is that the bigger unit? I am really not sure. El Rosario Prensa Nacional. Martín Carrera. Okay. So we need a little bit more to go on than this, which is unfortunate because that would be a very good clue if I knew more about the way that territorial units were organized in Mexico. But I'm not really sure whether a colonia is bigger. I think a delegación is bigger. I'm fairly sure of that, but I'm not 100% certain of it. victoriovenci.com.mx. Por tu salud y la de tu familia, somos la primera delegación en instalar contenedores de basura soterrados para erradicar los tiraderos clandestinos en vía pública. I mean, this, for anyone who doesn't speak Spanish, they're talking about they've put in these, like, bins that have some, like, underground area, collection area to keep the, like, keep people from, like, fly tipping shit onto the streets. A whole thing there, and right in front of it, somebody's fly tipped a bunch of shit on the street. Sauces. Colonia Partero, Delegación Azcapotzalco. Okay, well, we've got something a little bit more something that will show up larger on a zoom anyway. Guarache. Avenida de la Escultura. That damn tree's in the way of this fucking sign. Avenida de la Escultura. ¿Y qué? Tlalnepantla. Calzada de las Armas. Mina de Sotelo. Vulcanization. I don't know what it is. I mean, what I don't understand is, like, when you go south of the Rio Bravo, you see vulcanization shops all over the place. wherever you go in Latin America. At least everywhere I've been, which, I mean, there's a lot of places that I haven't been. But you see these places, these little sort of mom and pop kind of places. Puente de Guerra, Mimosas. Okay, we got more place names to look at. And I've never understood, like, why you have these vulcanization places in Latin America, but you don't see them here. Like, do the tires here not need it, or, you know, what's going on with that? And nobody's had an actual answer. I've asked that before and never gotten an answer. Probably. Okay. Asking the wrong people. San Vicente. Los Pirules, Teamachalco. Granada, Polanco, Tamaulipas. Hipódromo, Miscuac, San Simón. I'm still not finding anything, any of these place names that I actually need. So let's keep on going. Warrior of the Road. That's a little grandiose for a fucking charter bus. Avenida de las Culturas, El Rosario. Hang on. I feel like I saw... Okay, Marina Nacional. Aquiles Cerdán, Ahuehuete. Okay, I somehow like skipped over some stuff. Okay, Cerrajería Rangel, I saw. Gustavo Vaz. Vía Gustavo Vaz. Okay, we're heading northwest, though. Don't know that that necessarily helps us a whole lot. Domino's Shitty Pizza. Tierra Nueva. El Rosario. I feel like I just saw El Rosario someplace. Roma Norte, Tlatelolco. Aquiles Cerdán. A ver. Amantla. Azcapotzalco. Los Reyes. 5 de mayo. Santander. Colonia del Recreo. Libertad Santo Tomás. Los Reyes. Oh, okay, I think we may have found it here. Albacete. Okay. Oh, wait. El Rosario. Aquiles Cerdán. Salazar. El Rosario. Unidad habitacional. Prensa nacional. Okay, I think we got it here. Someplace around here. 49.94. Not bad. Okay, not urban now. We're some very rural, one-lane kind of place. Chasse gardée. D46. Okay, we're in France. We're in rural France, which is always a pain in the ass. Biodiversité, zone d'essai. Puis Laurent. Okay, that name. Vers route nationale 622. Blanc. Looks like they have a fair few collisions around here, judging from the state of these signs. Château de Padier, La Gascogne. Okay, so France. And I feel something about those place names makes me think maybe not far from Catalonia, that general area. Gascogne, c'est où Gascogne? See if we can find a better clue than that. Rural France is difficult because the root numbers mean nothing. And while I'm looking for that, let me just thank everybody who has provided support in whatever form. At the moment, this is a very rough time as a translator, so this and my other projects like the Ines Armand translation project, which I'm continuing to work on, are basically my only source of income, and so all support is very much appreciated. L'impôt. Nobody should feel obligated, as I know times are just rough. But if you can and you do, I am always very grateful, because it helps me continue to eat and stuff, and just kind of keep my head somewhat above water. Des 46 blancs. Puis de Rondogne. Okay. Or at least in a town. And there are various ways you can do that if you want to, like just joining my Patreon. Or with a one-off, which I'll drop a link in chat. Yes, how is your Korean going? I might do a couple of, I don't know, I think you were all here yesterday when I was talking about Le Gardiole, Le Scou, Soual. Okay, none of these places mean anything to me. The video I did, I was talking about it, this series of like language learning with like priming from authentic materials, and the one I already just put out this past week, which is Cassandre's video on les terres, which is French for turfs. Oh, neat. Hindi is actually what I've got my Google Maps set to at the moment. La Plose. Oh, wait, that placard might be used for participatif. Oh, thank you. Carcassonne. Carcassonne. That is the first of these place names that I'm at all familiar with. Where the hell is Carcassonne? I know I've heard that name before. Yeah, I enjoy Hindi too. That is one I've been working on and off for a very long time. Orléans, Reims. Lyon. Clermont-Ferrand. Avignon, Narbonne, Toulouse. Oh. Dax. Yeah, I mean, I think there is way too much emphasis on metrics a lot of the time, and it doesn't necessarily help actually with the learning process. And it can easily just kind of make people feel inadequate or feel that, feel pressured in ways that I think don't actually help with the process. That is one of the things that annoys me about these like bullshit videos where somebody will claim to have learned Chinese to fluency in 30 days, which no, you didn't. You may have learned a fair bit. You may have crammed a lot into 30 days. A Carcassonne. Okay, I was not wrong actually. It is in the general sort of Catalonia area. Limoux, Mirepoix, Pamiers. Okay, I was not entirely wrong there. Capendu. Pomp. Okay. So Carcassonne is 65 kilometers away to the southwest. So we're northeast of Carcassonne. Bagnole. Yeah. $48.61. Okay, it looks like a fairly warm sort of place. Buildings make me think South America, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. You see that sort of building in a lot of places. El Oasis. Autoservicio. Víveres y bebida. Okay, yeah. It's definitely Spanish speaking. Hang on, there was a stop sign. It says Pare. We are in South America. I do not see street signs so far. That would help clear it up a bit. God, I'm not seeing any signs that say what street this is. Oh, okay, here we go. No. I mean, this could be Chile, but it could also not be Chile. It is complicated. I mean, those look like street signs, but they're very hard to read. Especially because they're being blurred out for no good reason. Ángeles. Bar Ligorero. Okay, this looks like a somewhat larger street. Asadero. La brasa roja de agua azul. Promoción. Papa, yuca, plátano. That feels gaseosa. Oh, gaseosa. That begins to feel Peruvian. That is the Peruvian expression for a fizzy drink. So we may, in fact, be Someplace in Peru. Who is that statue of? Oh, hard to say. Guy in a hat. Tres cerdo, pollo, pescado, marisco, huevo. La fe no hace las cosas sencillas, las hace posibles, no, weón. Voy a tomar una cerveza. Bienvenido a mi ranchito. I'm gonna have a beer. Welcome to my little ranch place. La caballeriza. Like, is there some sort of aversion to putting the names of the streets someplace where you can actually see them? Ceda el paso. Okay. Thing is, I don't know if it's only Peru that says gaseosa. It is not. Universidad Pedagógica y Tecnológica de Colombia. Okay. Okay, good that I did that. Estado asesino. The state is a murderer. Es cierto. Okay, so we're in Colombia. Entidad, Gobernación de Casanare, Consorcio UPTEC Agua Azul, Casanare, ¿dónde queda? No tengo no tengo la más pálida. Pero sí, estamos en Colombia, we're in Colombia. dnagov.co. Yeah, I mean, the thing about, one of the coolest experiences about actually just sort of going, letting the language take you where it takes you is that you occasionally just have this extremely surprising experience of realizing you understand a whole bunch of stuff that you didn't realize you understood. It just, it's a sudden surprise. Casanare. I have no idea where Casanare is. I mean, this feels like it might be in Antioquia. There's a lot of Antioquia. Puerto Nari. I mean, the fact that they're apparently building a new university there suggests to me that it's a fairly large place. But, like, Colombia, there's a lot of Colombia to go through. So that's just the building site? Yes, okay. Nice little area, very pretty. Yeah. I mean, to me, the key is both to being able to stick to it long term and to just getting results is to find ways to do it that you actually enjoy. Oh, with any luck, we will actually get a visual on like commercial vehicles. The number plate has to be a decal on the side of the vehicle in addition to being just where number plates always are. And that has the advantage that Google Street View doesn't always blur those out. And they include the departamento, like the province, essentially. Yopal, Agua Azul. Rio sucio. Quibdó. Agua Azul. Puertonare, Guaviare. Facatativá. Yopal y Agua Azul. Ahí estamos. Tunja and Villavicencio. Okay. And having done this, okay, so Villavicencio. Wait, where did Villavicencio go? Okay, it's Route 65. El delirio, el encanto. Okay, where's Sogamoso? $49.92. 2.5 2.5 kilometers. And I'm gonna take a little bio break. I'll be back in just a mo. Hi, and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I am Elise, translator, editor, and writer with 20 working languages. And this is where we talk about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff. And we play games. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Geoguessr Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
El hospital es
還元一級の先というのは、本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は、
Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language. Mot tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back. Ben neredeyse her gün okula gideyim. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is squab, and that also means elephant.
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
ça, ça, c'est ça, che c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça. Sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco.
Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyper Polyglotting avec Elise. Moi, c'est Elise, traductrice, éditrice et écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça, c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu des jeux, surtout Geoguessr en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique, de l'acquisition des langues.
10-159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Nej. Man. Igen. Jo. 5. Ducks are drinking wine. Barbas. Barba, okay, Barbas is duck. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a $5 to my Patreon.
Sotto le frasche del capanno 4 gatti grossi stanno. Sotto 4 grossi sassi, 4 grossi e grassi gatti. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Facile. Sì, sì, ecco, la gente, è la cosa che mi dice la gente, sempre che scoprisce che quante lingue parlo, io sempre avevo l'impressione, diciamo, di che non era così, non era tan così, ma poi, dopo di aver visto qualche poliglota in YouTube, una delle cose che avevo scoperte era giustamente che la metodologia usata da quella gente poliglota che non avevo mai conosciuta prima, era più o meno la stessa metodologia che usavo io.
I buy a computer or what? And yeah, and here's another example. I like to point these out. For this word for or, but sounds vaguely like hogun and hok, the hok in hogun in Korean or waku in Japanese, and that means it is the exact same kind of character.
Okay, let me see.
Un chasseur, son chassé, ses chassés sont son chien de chasse.
Der dicke Dach.
Okay, der dicke Dachdecker deckt dir dein Dach, drum dank dem dicken Dachdecker, dass der dicke Dachdecker dir dein Dach deckt. Hola y bienvenidos al directo de Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. Yo soy Elisa, traductora, escritora y editora y comunicadora social con más de 20 idiomas de trabajo. Y aquí vamos a estar jugando videojuegos, sobre todo Geoguessr, y hablando de idioma, la mejor forma de aprenderlo y caleta más. Zwei Zwetschgenzweigen zwitscherten zwei tschechische Schwalben. Tres tristes tigres tragaban trigo en un trigal en tres tristes trastos.
Oh, I see. This is Diche Ishai Fui, which means do you want food? But yeah, are you hungry? That kind of thing. How are the boys? Cocine da boy. Posso Milao. Pote. Buenas, proteine. Utros. Totopolo. In the designated chicken eating area, obviously.
Okay, still 3 times I have to defeat him. And I don't have a whole lot of health left.
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project.
And I'm back. Yes, it is true. There are some very, very informative YouTube rabbit holes. I mean, that's the thing about YouTube. There, you can find all sorts of just amazing stuff on there, you know, educational, informational materials and stuff about all kinds of things. And at the same time as you can find, like, the worst bullshit anywhere. It is this amazing combination of crap and very useful things, and we are in Japan. I was thinking we were in Japan before I saw that this says Japan beverage. We are 100% in Japan. Shizuya. Shizuya Seiji Kabushiki Gaisha. Thank you, Ata. Okay, so someplace fairly built up and urbanized in Japan. Nissan 自動車
In Japan, they actually tell you how the traffic signals are operated. This sign here says it is a push-button traffic signal. Oh god, the art community? I haven't even really done much with the art community. Even though I am drawing a comic now. Keisei bara. Keisei. Interesting. Keisei was the, like, name for soul under Japanese occupation. Gyeongsong. Okay, so we're in a city in Japan. Hachimitsu Propolis. Yachio. 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 I mean, there's a city by that name. Yachio. Haojing. Yachio ってどこだった？なんか熊本の近くだったかしら。八千代。あ、違う。八千代。久留米、長崎、唐津、大分、大和、あ、足北。We ended up there yesterday. Ebi no Saiki, Seo, Yawatahama, Yachio って。徳島、香川、岡山。兵庫か。I like that attitude as well. That is what I try to do too. River Rune. Yachio. I know that place name, and now I'm... but I'm not sure. Was that like a Tokyo suburb? Ishikawa, Adachi. Trouble is, Tokyo is just huge. It would be useful if we got a prefecture in the name of a prefecture. Yosei Shoshi Jimusho. Sri Lankan restaurant. Deはガソリン税をゼロに。希望をあなたと共に。池田。There will be a prefectural route someplace around here, I'm sure. So once we know which prefecture we're in, then it narrows down a fair bit. I know I've heard of Yachiyo, and I'm having absolutely no luck remembering exactly where Yachiyo is. Ishiyama. Well, let me see. We got election posters. Sometimes those will say what prefecture they're in. Komito Yachiyo. Shigikai. Yachiyo Shigikai. It does not say the prefecture of that. But we've got a bigger street coming up. And that might give us some assistance here. Geoguessr 新たな日本へ。Geoguessr が新たな日本へと。なんだこれ。維新へから国を支配してきた奴らが新しい日本へと導くとは冗談じゃないだろう。Okay, that looks like there may be some sort of a major highway. Meanwhile, let me see. Jiminto. 未来を切り豊田敏郎。それ千葉？あー、千葉だった。京成小和田。Okay. Okay, we got it. Somewhere in here, anyway. 2.6 kilometers, 49.91. 24,806. Just 109 short of my best result. Okay, there had been a request. What messed you up about Matt versus Japan? I'm just catching up on chat here. Okay, we're gonna look at some videos, and there was a request for some of everyone's favorite educational YouTube people, Ken and Liza. Yeah, okay, here we go.
Hi there.
For anyone who's not familiar, this is English for Everyone. And English for Everyone is... I don't understand it, actually. I don't understand how they have such a following. I don't understand why anyone watches more than a minute and a half of these videos. Unless there's just a huge community of people watching them in order to do react videos where they take the piss out of them. But what are you gonna do? I mean, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna drag it for filth. So when I said that this is the channel where we look at the great and not so great of YouTube language learning, this is a good example of the not so great. Because I mean, from a methodological point of view, they're not so great. From just the point of view of being enjoyable to watch, the thing is, they're just not.
Welcome to English for Everyone. My name's Liza. I'd like to address the false accusations that have been made and set the record straight.
Wait, what? Okay. This escalated quickly.
There is nothing wrong with having an accent. There is nothing wrong with making mistakes while speaking in your daily life.
And I will just say, I mean, in case there's anyone who's like new here or is in any doubt, I agree wholeheartedly with what she just said. But I feel like a but is coming on.
But if you present yourself as an authority on the subject and teach the wrong information, that's a different story.
I've learned so much from this video, Marina. You're an amazing teacher. Guys, if you like how I teach you tenses, I have a whole course on English language tenses. It's really detailed, really interactive with a lot of...
Yeah, and I will say, I have not actually looked at her courses. I mean, she also has a huge following. And I've not really watched her stuff except when like Kevin and Liza are having a go at her. And usually, and the thing that gets me there, that I have a problem with, apart from the fact that they just sort of are like obsessively petty about her specifically, is for the most part when they find something that they're going to criticize about the way she speaks English, it's unscripted content. It's her like speaking casually and off the cuff.
Exercises. So if you're interested in speaking English like a native speaker, continue watching this video and make sure to watch it up to the very end.
For example, you have millions of viewers trusting you.
See, the thing is, I will say, from what I've seen about the way she does her videos, I think they're almost certainly more useful than what Kevin and Liza do. Because she actually just sort of walks around doing daily activities, and like the clips that I've seen that they've shown, and talks about them in English. There's absolutely no harm in that. And the fact that she occasionally makes mistakes and she has an accent and stuff like that, I mean, I don't think, from the standpoint of a learner, I don't think that hurts anything. Because it's not like English is this weird, rare language that you could only get from Kevin and Liza and Marina Mojilco. like, English is all around you. It's basically unavoidable. There are very few places you can go and not have any access to English language content. So the mistakes she makes, other people are going to be not making. So
that you teach them how to speak like a native speaker with an American accent. And you tell them not to say happy birthday. You tell them not to say the correct thing.
Well, I mean, see, yeah, I mean, that's a weird one, but this is a whole thing in language learning YouTube, and I absolutely, personally just hate it. You'll find these thumbnails, and it's like, don't say de nada, or don't say gracias, don't say danke, or something like that. And what it is actually, and if you look at those, you can get really insecure. Like, am I saying it wrong this whole time? Have I been completely mistaught? Have I been misled? And when you check it out, it turns out, I mean, it's alternatives to spice up your speech, and there's nothing wrong with having alternatives to spice up your speech. I'm all for it. I like to be able to spice up my speech. I like to speak spicily. I don't like to speak boringly. I'm not looking to sound bland. But, I mean, the thing is, when you put it like this, when you say, and I will note that Kevin and Liza are not innocent when it comes to this kind of thumbnail. They are absolutely, they've done this exact kind of thing too. So I don't know where the fuck they get off criticizing Marina Mukilko for this. But what I don't like is when they say, do not say this, like it's wrong or something like that. And when it's not wrong. Like, de nada is not wrong. People say it all the time. People say lots of other things too, and it's good to know the different things, even if you don't use them, just to recognize them. But I also think the more time you spend interacting in a language, the more you will also pick those things up too. You just notice new things, new ways of saying things. I mean, we do it all the time. Like, there was a time when nobody would refer to things that look kind of dodgy, look kind of, in poor shape, in a figurative sense, as scuffed. And then that became a whole thing. There was a time when nobody ever said anything was based, unless they meant based on something. And then that became the whole thing. People picked it up because they're like, okay, that's a neat way of saying that, I'll try it. And they liked it, so they said it, and then they eventually got tired of it, and they stopped saying it.
You tell them not to say what native speakers say, and instead, you teach them to say happy 18 years old.
You can also replace happy birthday with happy plus a person's age.
I mean, and that's a thing people do. That is true. I've heard that. Happy 18, happy 21, whatever. I mean, that is a thing. That is a legit thing that exists in English. She's not wrong there.
But just make sure that people aren't afraid of their age, because some people don't like to share, like women or men sometimes don't like to share their age. So it's okay for kids, I would say. Happy 16 years old.
Yeah, except you wouldn't say it like that. You just say happy 16. Or happy sweet 16 or whatever. You wouldn't say it quite like that, but I mean, the general format isn't that.
Happy 18 years old. Normally, it will be an age that's also like a border between, childhood and adulthood.
Yeah, I mean, everything she's saying here is actually right, except for the exact way she suggests saying it. Like, you would not say happy 18 years old, but you would say happy 18, and she's quite right when she says that this is most common in a situation where it is considered a milestone age. Yeah, happy 16th.
From being a baby to being a kid.
If you don't bother to Google it before you teach it, it shows blatant disrespect. It shows a lack of effort, a lack of research. It shows incompetence. The reason why we decided to make this video is because we're...
Well, I love how now they're coming up with a reason to make this video. I mean, like, because it would be so... It's such a rarity that they're slagging off Lingua Marina. I mean, they never do that. Now they've come up with a reason.
A lot of hateful comments, including name-calling and inappropriate language inspired by this video. I'd like to address a...
Oh, I want to know what the video is that has inspired it. Please stop making these videos. Well, tell us what the video is called. I want to watch the video that inspired this.
False accusations that have been made. Let's listen to the
What kind of false accusations?
First one.
Yeah, well, the thing is, many of the examples that were given in those videos were taken from her vlogs, where she's
This is entirely true.
casually speaking.
Yeah. That's not a false accusation. We have seen it ourselves on this stream.
Or while explaining something.
Yeah.
It's not true.
That is true. That absolutely fucking is true.
Every single example was taken from a teaching channel, Lingua Marina.
That's not... That isn't a refutation. Like, what she said is that... so if she posts vlog content on that channel, that's still a vlog.
It wasn't about her making mistakes while speaking in her daily life.
But it was. It literally was. Like, half of them, it's just, what they'll show is, she's just doing stuff, going about her daily life, and she says something off the cuff and it isn't quite right.
It was about her teaching you incorrect English.
Well, you teach incorrect English too, actually, so...
There were absolutely no examples taken from her vlogs.
That is just, that is such bullshit. How...
Because we believe there is nothing wrong with making mistakes while speaking in your daily life. And honestly...
this is just... That is an absolute fucking lie. Holy shit.
You know, you focusing on those mistakes, most people don't even notice.
Yeah, she's quite right again. I don't know who she is. I don't know anything else about her. I've never seen her before. I like her lipstick. I will say that. Good lipstick game. I'm also partial to the bold reds myself. But, everything she's saying is quite right.
Is it casual talking? Not if you tell your viewers, listen to me, pay attention.
Well, you tell your viewers those things and you also get shit wrong. And you don't get shit wrong in casual talking. You'll do a whole thing where you're like, we cannot say insert thing that actually isn't wrong. We can, however, say... come up with insert weird ass way of saying a thing. Again, Chad, we've seen this.
Write it down. It's not casual talking.
Now this is a compilation of my best classes, so make sure you have a notebook, make sure you're all ears. Let's do it. Let's learn to speak like a native. This class is all about
These aren't the videos that they're...
phrases that native speakers use. Idioms, slang phrases, phrasal verbs. There's going to be a lot of important information, so don't...
And let me just say, again, I don't think having an accent is a bad thing. Everybody has a fucking accent. When people say that they have no accent, they mean that they have a mainstream accent commonly in use by native speakers, but that's also a fucking accent. But, between Marina Mojilco's pronunciation and Liza's pronunciation, I have to say, a lot of the time I would give the edge to Marina in terms of pronunciation. Not always. She makes mistakes too, like everybody fucking does. But...
don't forget to write the new words down. And honestly, I consider most of them as slip of the tongues or careless speaking.
Is it a slip of the tongue?
It's not only not a slip of the tongue. Okay, yeah, she got that one wrong, yeah.
It's not a slip of the tongue when you write your mistakes on the screen.
Which you also do.
And then teach the wrong information. It's not a slip of the tongue.
And the truth is, this is what English sounds like in real life. It is spoken with different sounds and different syntax. And yes, sometimes not according to grammar books.
Yeah, prescriptive grammar is bullshit.
But it is spoken.
Is it an accent? Is it what English sounds like? There is a difference between having an accent and teaching the wrong pronunciation of a word. If you teach calm instead of cold.
I mean, but except the thing is, she has actually repeatedly gone after Lingua Marina. I mean, not she personally, like, English for Everyone. The two of them. Specifically because in casual speech she uses a vowel sound that isn't quite the standard that native speakers would use.
It's not an accent.
Yeah, if they... I mean, it is absolutely just fucking rich that they're acting that they're acting put out and, like, they've been falsely accused for, like, doing the exact things that they do every single time.
It's not what English sounds like. It's teaching the wrong pronunciation of a word.
Calm. Calm. Something you use for your hair. Calm.
How much do you know about that, Kevin? Creating consistent content and speaking freely.
I mean, creating consistent content, I will say he knows a lot about that. There is one thing you cannot fault English for Everyone with. It is consistency. Because every single video they make feels like every other video they make. In fact, I mean, you could, like, link me to random videos that they've made, and I could not tell them apart. Because it's the exact same thing every single time. The exact same format, the exact same boring-ass examples.
In a second language.
Well, Kevin speaks 2 languages fluently.
Well, let's hear him speak the other one.
He's also been teaching English for 20 years. I speak 3 languages.
Okay, well, let's hear them. I mean, the thing is, every time she's on camera, she's very clearly reading from a script.
English is my 3rd language. We've been teaching English for 20 years. We teach group classes, private classes. We teach classes online and in person.
God, I don't know. I could not. In person, I could not.
We know a lot about the learning process.
I would be such a pain in the ass in an in-person class. And you'd be just sitting here like fucking laughing like a schmuck in the background.
If you develop bad habits, those mistakes are engraved in your brain.
That is not true, actually. Fossilization is this big boogeyman that English teachers in particular are taught to be really, really worried about. Which is why they do the completely unproductive thing of, like, explicit error correction, you know, interrupting people to say, no, we don't say it like that. We say chiropodist. See, that is already more interesting than any example they've ever used. But it's bullshit. It's both parts of it are wrong. The explicit error correction does not actually help people improve, and fossilization is not a thing that exists. People are constantly adjusting the way they speak because they hear things, and it's like because they hear things and they realize, oh, have I been using that wrong all this time, or something like that. And in fact, with grammar in particular, it turns out what is the most effective thing for grammar acquisition is pleasure reading. So, like, the entire premise of their fucking channel, of virtually all their content, is just pedagogically unsound.
And it can take years to unlearn something and relearn it.
And by the way, am I the only one who is bothered by the fact that a white, male, native speaker is telling a successful, non-native English-speaking woman to basically keep her head down, be quiet, and stop showing up because she doesn't sound like, well, him?
I mean, yeah, there is that. I mean, it's almost lost in the enchanted forest of shit that is wrong with their content, but there is kind of that. Yeah, the nod every fucking time.
A white native speaker can't correct mistakes.
That's not what she said. We're not talking. And first of all, like, if you're jumping into random people's conversations who are not fucking talking to you and have not asked you, and, like, uninvitedly correcting their grammar, that's just an asshole thing to do. Lingua Marina has never said, invited Kevin to, like, critique her grammar or something like that. And I'm not saying that a large content creator should, should have to invite somebody, like, if they're telling you complete nonsense, yeah, obviously, it's good that somebody says, well, actually, they're full of shit. But that's not really what they do. They just hammer in on all these tiny things, and their entire content is based on saying, well, look at this one word she got wrong this time. And it's like, and that's actually kind of fucked up.
Actually, it was me, a non-native speaker, a teacher, a woman, who found these videos and had the idea to expose the incompetent teacher.
She is very... it looks like she's reading. I will not say for a fact that she's reading, because I don't know what's in front of her right now other than the camera. But it is, like, she goes... Each sentence, she goes, like a carriage return on a typewriter.
It was me, a non-native speaker, who knows what it takes to learn a language.
It's the fear of experiencing exactly what you and everyone else in the comments mocking Marina are doing to Marina.
Is it mocking? Is it making fun of something?
Well, hey, hang on. Did she show any... I have never looked at Marina's comments. I've never really looked at her channel. I don't really care. But, if there are comments being mocking to her that are being driven by Kevin and Liza's bullshit, that is something that isn't great.
This is not correct. This is correct. Without any other comments. Is it really mocking? Here are some examples of mocking you can find on YouTube.
So in reality,
Wait, what?
a lot of people told me that
People say fifth?
fifth. Yeah. And so there
Well, you're stupid.
Yeah, wait, let me see, what are these comments? Yeah. Okay, some of these people, like, the second F and fifth is pronounced, it's fifth, not fifth. I'm sorry, it's hard, English is weird. That isn't really mocking. But other people are sitting here saying it's definitely not... Oh, well, fifth is definitely not universally pronounced fifth. It's a regional thing. I don't know if it's a regional thing or if it is a speaking quickly thing. But, you definitely... you definitely see that second F being omitted all the time, to the extent that it's actually remarkable when you notice when somebody's saying fifth rather than fifth. I'm pretty sure I say fifth most of the time, unless I am really trying to enunciate. Yeah. I don't... Yeah, most of those don't read as mocking, but I disagree with them.
People say fifth?
fifth. Yeah. And so there
Well, you're stupid. Fight me.
Okay, my advanced English language learner, let's check your advanced vocabulary.
Okay. Yeah, somebody says that sounds sarcastic. And I will say, it does sound kind of sarcastic to me. Although, one thing I've noticed about, like, native speakers of Russian and English is that sometimes they will bring in an inflection that is completely natural in Russian, but it sounds really fucking sarcastic in English. Like, I had a Russian teacher in high school, and, like, every time she would say things, totally, like, normal things, thinking nothing of it. But the inflection she brought to it made it sound extremely sarcastic.
My daughter, who's 3 years old, knows the word sad. Come up with something else. At least disappointed. The next one.
Like... This is sort of not a great way. Like, sad and disappointed aren't the same thing. They just aren't. You can, like... you can be sad because like your cat died. That doesn't mean you're disappointed. Because I mean, it's kind of part of what you sign up for on a certain level.
Sad.
It just sucks. It's the part that sucks.
Again, this one. You said afraid?
What's like?
Sad. Again, this one. You said afraid? Ramp. Basic.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't great. I mean, I will say that is absolutely not great. But I mean, I've seen like. I will say this is something that I see a lot of people doing. And the whole idea of advanced English, like there's advanced vocabulary, I think is nonsense. Like it isn't a fucking Metroidvania game. The vocabulary is not there isn't vocabulary that is inherently advanced. I mean, and to the extent that there is vocabulary that is harder for non-native speakers, it isn't necessarily particularly specialized or anything. It's just that it has a ridiculous number of possible uses that don't necessarily even seem related to each other.
Scared? Ooh. Basic. Fearful is better. I like it.
This comment is not about her making mistakes. This comment is about her smug attitude.
I mean, I really have trouble seeing where they get to throw stones on smugness. If anything, at least her smugness is a little bit more natural.
It's about the fact that she hasn't corrected any of her videos, but instead, she makes videos bragging about how much money she earns on YouTube, teaching you incorrect English.
How much money do you make on YouTube also doing a lot of very incorrect English?
YouTube pays me around $20,000 to $25,000 a month, and if we look at top 10 videos that I've created, this one was created in 2020 and it generated $440. These are the most recent ones. These are 2022, 2022. This one, 2018, $240.
Like, I mean, and this is why it's like I'm saying she is not a small bean creator, so criticism is completely, I mean, legit criticism is totally warranted. She's actually, like, I mean, like 2 million impressions. Like, yeah, I mean, her videos are making, holy shit, I mean, I don't know, I imagine there are videos out there that make way more money than 400 a piece, or like between 199 and 441, whatever. But that's still, I mean, she is a large creator. So in that sense, you know, when there is like there's legit criticism, but the problem is not legit criticism. The problem is they're like obsessed with her.
$7 last month, 2020, $230, and this long tail goes on and on and on. If you just scroll through all of my cash generating videos, a lot of them, I would say more than a half of them, would be from the previous years. If you're
Why has she got the official fucking sofa of the UVF?
Interested in speaking English as a native speaker without any mistakes, continue watching this video. The next word that we love to use is word many. I have many problems, I have many shoes, I have many friends. We say it all the time. Great alternatives are handful. I have handful of friends.
Yeah, I mean, and that is incorrect. It's true. I mean, but a lot of the things that they ding her on are, first of all, not specifically teaching content. It really is casual speech, and they're at best debatable.
First, a handful is a noun that you can count, and that's why we say a handful is for one. A handful. But the most important thing, a handful means a small amount.
I mean, she's absolutely right. When you say, like, if you say, you know, you could say, it doesn't always mean a small amount. Sometimes it can mean a pain in the ass. My friends are a handful. Yeah, we've seen Kevin, like, and his mistakes, unlike 99% of what we've seen them correcting Marina on, are you know, it is specifically, he is prescriptively saying to people, this is how you should say it. This is what that actually means. This is how you actually pronounce it. I mean, saying just complete nonsense like, this is my car trunk. Nobody fucking says that. Nobody says car trunk. And, like, and when I hear that, it's like, it you know, how have you lived in the U.S. all your life in fucking Texas and you think that it's called a car trunk?
A small amount, not many. For example, I have a handful of friends. It means I have a few friends, not many.
Yeah, I mean,
I
she's
invited
absolutely
a lot of
right
people
here.
to the party, but only a handful of them showed up. It means only a few people showed up, not many. So remember, a handful means a small
But at
amount.
the same time, it's like acting like they're doing a public service rather than just mining her for content is nonsense. Because the reality is, people who use handful to mean many will very quickly become aware that they're making a mistake, because people will hear that, assume they mean only a few, and when it becomes apparent that what they're actually saying they think it's a lot of, they're going to say, oh, you know, I think that doesn't mean what you think it means. And the mistake will be corrected. It is not a disaster. Like, they're acting like this is them, like fucking mining it for filth.
I found that lots of organizations and teams claim they foster innovation, but out of those, I'd say only a handful of
Like, oh wait, are we gonna do a callback to one of their fucking montages?
them are actually doing it.
Besides its creators, I'm one of only a handful of people ever to hold this sphere.
Most people have just a handful of friends. Growing up as a kid in school, I had a handful of friends that really had my back.
So remember, a handful
Like, this
means a
is,
small
why is she
amount.
doing this?
Today we're going to talk about articles. Articles are very important in English. If you don't use articles, native speakers might misunderstand you. For example,
Like, whoa.
it's not silver.
Like, so now it's just a clip show of I guess these are their greatest hits according to them?
Not gold. It's iron. Am I right?
This is iron.
Oh, she's not talking about metal. She's talking about this object. I misunderstood her.
Well,
Because
wow,
she-
isn't that interesting? So she's talking about the object she has in her hand. So clearly, I mean, she could also be talking about the metal surface at the bottom of the thing. I mean, which, although I don't think that's probably straight up iron. But, see, this is a good example of a situation where obviously people will understand her just fine because she's pointing at an iron.
Use an article. It's a problem. So today we're going to talk about articles. Let's get started.
Like, the example she just gave is not an example of where a lack of an article would cause a problem. Because she's literally pointing at the fucking iron. Nobody is sitting here thinking, wow, does she mean that this is the element Fe?
Is for one. If you're talking about an object that you can count, for example, 1 fork, 2 forks, 3 forks,
I don't even give 1 fork.
and you want to say
I have no forks to give.
fork, you can say
About whether fucking Marina Mohilko used an article when she was like casually talking about a fucking iron.
this is a fork. This is 1 fork. Or it's called a fork. Let's listen.
This is spatula.
It's not correct to say this is
Yeah, I
spatula.
mean, again, is she okay? Wait a second, because a minute ago she was saying she was not using they were never going after her fucking vlogs, and their examples here are clearly from her vlogs. Admittedly, this is spatula sounds like spatula is your imaginary friend, like you're on a desert island, like Tom Hanks in that movie. And all you've got is spatula, and so you talk to spatula, because spatula is the only person there who will listen to you.
It's an object. You can count it. You can say 1 spatula, 2 spatulas, 3 spatulas. And that's why we say...
Like, see, I mean, and this is where the fact that she, like, piles them on like this, that they do this, is the proof that this is not about teaching people, about articles, because they already did that. This is them, like, making just crappy derivative content from Marina Mohilco's videos by pointing out casual mistakes she's made. Like, nobody is learning. Everybody who was going to learn about articles from this already did with the first fucking example.
This is a spatula. This is one spatula. This is a spatula. Let's practice. What is this?
This is you nodding.
This is a spatula. Good job. Let's listen.
Wow, she praised me.
It's not correct to say this is called peeler.
Yeah, like, how many of these are we gonna... this is, again, literally...
It's an object. You can say 1 peeler, 2 peelers, 3 peelers.
And the wild thing is, she started out by saying this can cause you problems with native speakers. She has not, given a single example here where it would cause problems. If you're gonna say that this is something serious and you gotta make sure you get it right every time because it's gonna cause you problems, you know what I would do if I were making that case? I would use one example. Oh God, the loofahs. Kevin and the fucking loofahs.
It's countable. So if you want to say 1 peeler, we say this is a peeler. This is called a peeler. 1 peeler. Let's practice. What is it called?
It's called
That's
a nod.
Right. It's called a peeler.
You don't get to... see, and just the smugness... here's the thing. I think it was, that Dave guy who said, if you're going to keep on, correcting people in this really petty sort of a way, the least they could do is show Liza going off script, just speaking off the cuff, so we can all see whether... she is in a position to be, being this, in this, the fucking smugosphere. And she hasn't done it. This is, totally scripted.
Good job. Let's listen.
This is called corkscrew.
It's not correct to say.
I think we got the fucking point. How many of these are we going to do? Are we going to go through the entire kitchen? This is called a garlic.
It's called corkscrew. It's an object. You can count it. You can say 1 corkscrew. And that's why we say this is called a corkscrew.
I mean, again, not a single example yet where it would actually get you into trouble.
Let's practice. What is it called?
Smug nod.
That's right. It's called a corkscrew. Good job.
Oh, she praised me, Chad. She praised me.
Let's listen.
This is called horn.
This is called horn.
And the thing is, this isn't even new stuff. We saw her do this already. They've just, in order to mine this for content, and now they're taking a second pass on this exact stuff. Notice she's changed clothes because this is an old video that she's just clipped into here. Irrelevantly.
It's not correct because you can count the object. You can say 1 horn, 2 horns, 3 horns.
Wow.
This is 1 horn. This is a horn. This is called a horn. Let's practice.
Let's not.
What is this called? That's right. This is called a horn. Good job. Let's listen.
This class.
Do they... what amazes me is that apparently they have people paying them to teach them in person on the strength of these fucking videos. Why? Why would you want this in your life?
Class in front of me is called windshield in the US.
It's not correct to say this is windshield. It's an object. You can count it.
Yeah, but he actually put quotation marks around there. You could say this is called windshield. I mean, that isn't. This is an example of something debatable. And a lot of this stuff is debatable. And the thing is, even the stuff where you would say absolutely, this is not the way like a native speaker would say it. The thing is, even then, they haven't given a single example where there would be any misunderstanding at all.
You can say one windshield.
Also, why are they reusing this? We've seen this fucking video of theirs. I'm pretty sure I commented on stream. Like, this is just This is like, you have a VHS tape that you throw in to get some movie on TV, and it's one that there was already stuff on. And so at the end of it, suddenly you end up in the middle of a completely different movie or something. Except that's not how any of this works, because it's digital. They're not like recording over something, so why the hell are we looking at this again?
Windshields, 3 windshields. And that's why we say this is called a windshield. Let's practice. What is it called? That's right. This is called a windshield. Good job. Let's listen.
It's called emergency brake.
It's not correct to say.
Like, this is just, we're going to go through a whole thing, are we?
It's called emergency brake.
It's come to the Uncanny Valley School of English.
An object, you can say a brake, 2 brakes, 3 brakes.
Like, this is what you get if you ask ChatGPT to design a course on English grammar.
But here the word emergency starts with a vowel. And that's why we say an emergency brake. It's called an emergency brake. Let's practice.
And once again, like, not a single example where any misunderstanding would happen.
What is it called? That's right, it's called an emergency brake. So remember, if a word starts with a vowel, we say an apple, an engineer, an emergency brake.
Why do we say that when just some random word starts with a vowel, though? Why are we doing that? Like, what 3 things do we say? What 3 random objects do we list when a word starts with a consonant?
And that's why it's not correct to say,
this is iron.
Who cares? We already did it. They're doing callbacks. What? Is this a fucking Mobius strip? Are they in a causality loop? Are they going to be playing cards with the crew of the Starship Enterprise until fucking Frasier rams into them and it all starts over again? Is that what we're witnessing here?
it's an object. You can count it. You can say 1 iron, 2 irons, 3 irons.
You already did this.
The word iron starts with a vowel, and that's why we say it's called an iron. This is an iron. I have an iron. Do you have an iron?
Okay, it sounds like she's saying I have a iron, though.
Good job. Let's listen.
It has speedometer.
It's not correct to say it has speedometer. It's an object.
God, are we gonna go through every single part of the fucking car? It is not correct to say it has alternator. Because alternator is a thing you can count. 1 alternator, 2 alternators, 3 alternators. And because it begins with a vowel, we have to say an. Does it have an alternator? Very good job. Yes, it has an alternator. Now, next, we cannot say it has fan belt. I mean, like, how long are we going to be doing this for?
You can say 1 speedometer, 2 speedometers, 3
Red speedometer, blue speedometer.
speedometers. And that's why we say it has a speedometer. It has 1 speedometer. The car has a speedometer. Let's practice. Does it have a speedometer?
Maybe. It might. Quite possibly.
That's right. It has a speedometer. Good job.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and plus, people omit articles all the time in speech. Like, especially because can be lost in a fucking inhalation.
Let's listen.
We have 2 o'clock opening next Wednesday, if that works.
It's not correct to say, I have 2 o'clock opening.
Yeah, I mean, and here again, this is another example of the thing that she said that they never do. This is casual speech.
1 opening, 2 openings, 3 openings.
Okay, could we not be counting openings? That just sounds, that just hits different.
Opening. I have a 2 o'clock opening. Let's practice.
I mean, and also, this is a great example, especially the way she was saying it, of where people in casual speech would just leave out an article because, you know, you're looking at a thing, you're talking to a person, you've got a thing open, you know, your scheduling app or whatever. You know, we have 2 o'clock opening. You know, I mean, people do that all the fucking time. Nobody yet has been seriously injured as a result.
Does she have a 2 o'clock opening? That's right, she has a 2 o'clock opening. Good job. It's not correct to say,
what is this a greatest hits compilation? Like, why is this here?
This is bikini.
that's right, it's not correct to say, this is bikini. It's an object that you can count.
I think we get the point.
You can say 1 bikini, 2 bikinis. And that's why we say, this is a bikini. A is for 1. This is a bikini.
Like, I mean, okay, and now she's wearing, you know, she's at a different camera angle and she's got a different outfit on. So they have literally just compiled the greatest hits of correcting Marina on fucking articles. This is to respond to accusations that they claim are false of them just, you know, obsessively focusing on Marina and picking on her for small mistakes that she made off the cuff.
Bikini is a 2-piece bathing suit.
We kind of know that. We got a picture of it here. Why are you telling us?
I have a bikini. Or I can say, I have 2 bikinis. She has a bikini. Do you have a bikini? Today we're going to learn how to use this word.
Okay, I'm not even going to start.
Correctly. Let's get started.
She divorced from Andy. Or you could just say she divorced Andy. So there are 2 ways.
I mean, again, this is something I know that we saw this on stream. We definitely already saw this. This is like a clip show. The world's like worst clip show.
To say this correctly. Divorce from Andy, divorce Andy.
It's not correct to say she divorced from Andy. If you want to use this word as a verb, the preposition from is not necessary.
Well, I mean, you can say she got I mean, I know I said this at the time. You can say she got divorced from.
She divorced Andy. Let's look at some examples.
His wife eventually divorced him. His wife, Robin Givens, divorced him.
She divorced him.
But,
like, is this okay? I just noticed that it's all of the clips that they came up with are she divorced him. And it's like, is she sending a message to Kevin? Is this like some subliminal thing that she's doing? Is this some sort of internal kayfabe going on? Is all not well in the Uncanny Valley School of English?
if you want to use this word as a noun, a divorce, then we say she got a divorce from him. Let's look at some examples.
That is a really weird way to say that. I do not think you would say that. She got a divorce from him. She got divorced from him, you would say. But I can't. Chat, does that sound right to you? That does not sound right to me. Like, she got divorced from him. She requested a divorce from him, and like he gave her a divorce, like as in she initiated it, and he said, okay, then that's okay with me. But she, like, chat, would you say she got a divorce from him being the spouse? Because I don't think so.
He claimed he had previously tried to get a divorce from Kardashian.
The last thing I wanted in the world was to get a divorce from my husband because I loved him.
Or, if you want to use it as
Okay, so there are examples. It sounded odd to me.
an adjective, she's divorced, then we say, she is divorced from Andy. It's not very common, but it is correct.
Like, the most common example... It's interesting that she completely left out what I would have to say is probably the most common way of doing it, which is she got divorced from... A got divorced from B.
Remember, if you want to use this word as a verb, to divorce, the preposition from is not necessary.
And also, this is not the only way to use the word divorce as a verb. Because the judge divorces two people, just like the judge can marry two people. And in neither case is the judge actually... the judge's marital status changing.
It's not correct to say.
She divorced from Andy.
We say, she divorced Andy.
You already did this. Like, is Frasier about to hit you in a starship?
Divorced him.
Okay. Well, there we go. It is time to wrap up. Thank you to everyone who joined in. It's always good to see you. Oh, we had a fair number of people as well. That's this is probably one of the largest numbers of people we've actually had on this particular stream. This is always one of the smaller chats that we get. Thank you for the suggestion, Giga M. That was a good one. That was like, it was painful, but in a way that I think was like content, I guess, because that's what I'm doing here. That's what we do with fucking Kevin and Liza. We're leveraging our pain for content. But I will be back at 4:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, and I look forward to seeing you then.